Hey, y'all, Killer Bees here. You are watching Good Day Paris.
Hello and welcome to Good Day Paris, and happy Thanksgiving 2023. It's hard to believe it's almost over. We've got a month left and oh my goodness, we're all stuffed. But I truly hope that everyone watching is enjoying this special day. And thank you so much for sharing it with us tonight. So tonight we have a very important show for you. We're joined by Lauren Gentry and Callie Pierce from the Tennessee Department of Health. They'll be sharing information on all the many services that are provided by the state that are helping countless people in the community here and just may even be able to help you. So stay tuned for that, and they'll be out in just a moment. And if you have a special event to promote too, or maybe you would like to be a guest, or you have a suggestion about a guest, or you just simply want to say hi and tell us how we can improve the show, please be sure to send us an email at gooddayparistn@gmail.com. We really would love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out the updated myparistv.com. You'll be surprised at how much is going on here in Paris and West Tennessee, and just how much talent there is in this area. No kidding. While you're there also, please sign up for our newsletter to stay informed about upcoming shows, events, and other news. So now it's time for everyone's favorite good stuff to know. But before we get started with good stuff to know, I want to introduce you to these two amazing gals that are with me here. And we've been having so much fun just getting ready for our show today. Well, of course, it's Thanksgiving, so you know, it's kind of a special time. But I'm so happy to have you guys. And this is Callie Pierce, and we also have Lauren Gentry with us. And let's see, Lauren, you're a nursing supervisor with the Tennessee Department of Health. And locally, it's actually Henry County Health Department, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and Callie, you're a public health educator.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I want to hear all about what you guys have to offer and what's going on. But first, let's do good stuff to know. I'm so glad you guys are here with me. So today, Thanksgiving, is November the 23rd, and looking past the obvious holiday that today is, it's National Espresso Day. This coffee drink actually goes way back to the 1800s, but I'm telling you, I'm keeping it right in today's view because I am a real lover of coffee, and especially espresso. So it is also, you want to take this one?
It's National Day of Mourning.
Ooh.
So each year, the fourth Thursday in November is recognized as the National Day of Mourning, which provides an opportunity to reflect on Native American heritage and the role Thanksgiving played in the lives of their ancestors.
Wow.
It's also National Eat a Cranberry Day, found in the acidic bogs throughout the colder regions of the Northern Hemisphere. Cranberries are evergreen dwarf shrubs. Or trailing vines that grow up to 7 feet long and 8 inches high.
Yeah, I know it. It's also
crazy.
National Cashew Day. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of days today is. And the cashew tree originated in northeastern Brazil, but are now grown in all tropical climates. And it's also National Fibonacci Day. Fibonacci Day honors Leonardo Bonacci, one of the most influential mathematicians of the Middle Ages. And the date corresponds to the first numbers of the Fibonacci sequence, which you may have heard of, 1, 1, 2, 3 in mathematics. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, also known as the golden ratio. And celebrating birthdays this November 23rd is singer, actress Miley Cyrus. And she turns 30, and I can hardly believe it because to me she's still just a baby. And I don't know, let's see, Lauren, you want to take the next one?
Yes. Today is also musician Bruce Hornsby, and he is turning 57. His hit song in the 80s was The Way It Is, and actually spent many years before that performing with the Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead. Now, are you even familiar with the Grateful Dead? You're too young.
I do. I was taught very well by my parents. They introduced me to lots of music. So.
Well, they were pretty darn good. You know, I mean, let's just face it. And Bruce Hornsby, I found out, actually plays with them occasionally. He's not really always with them, but so wow, 57. Yep, and there's his face. And so, yeah. You want to take this one, Cassie?
It is also actor Vincent Castle's birthday, and he's turning 56 today.
You know, and his face is very familiar, but I don't really remember anything he's been in. Do you?
I don't either. Mm-mm.
No, I really don't. But his face up there is very familiar. And this day in history, in 1887, everyone's favorite spooky guy, Boris Karloff, was born. And he gained worldwide fame after playing the immortal role of Frankenstein's monster. And why don't you take this one?
Also on this day, back in 1863, was the Battle of Chattanooga. It began. This battle turned out to be a major victory for the Union Army.
Wow. Very cool. And you can take this one.
And finally on this day in 1888, legendary actor, comedian Harpo Marx was born. He appeared in no less than 27 movies.
Wow.
His real name was Adolf.
Yeah, Adolf.
And not many people knew that Harpo was quite an accomplished harp player, hence the name Harpo.
Well, there you go, and that makes a lot of sense. Well, and there you have it. Another week of good stuff to know. And we'll be right back with our special guests, and we'll talk to you guys and hear all about Tennessee, the Department of Health. Yes. Hello, live TV, you know, this always happens. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Okay, so wow. Yeah, shop that mini mall because I can tell you there are some amazing buys there. I've really gotten some good stuff at great prices too, you know. Always makes you feel so good, like, you know, you got a really good deal there.
Yes.
But okay, so tell me about the Tennessee Department of Health. I guess we can start with you, Lauren.
Yes. So I'm Lauren. I'm the nursing supervisor there. I am a Henry Countyan through and through. So born and raised here, but I'm glad to be back and serving our community. The health department I've often called the state's best kept secret.
Yeah.
We have lots of services that I didn't even know that we provided before I went to work there. So one of the biggest things that people don't know about is we do provide primary care for anyone that is uninsured, that's age 19 to 64. So anyone that does not have insurance and falls in that category, we can serve as their primary care doctor. So we have a nurse practitioner and a physician that it's there throughout the week, and they can see patients. They can refer them for specialists. We do blood work just like your doctor's office may do.
Really? And
absolutely.
that's if they don't have any form of insurance.
Correct.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I did not know that. I didn't know that they would do that for somebody.
Yes.
But 19 to 64.
19 to 64, yes.
Okay,
Uninsured.
and so how would somebody that might be watching today, how would they sign up for something like that if they're just now hearing about it too, like I am?
All they have to do is call the health department, our local health department here in Paris, or wherever they may be located. So there's a health department in each county in Tennessee, and if they call the health department, they can get them an appointment with our primary care provider.
And where is the health department here? Where is it actually located? Oh, and we've got different places within the region here in West Tennessee.
So those are all the addresses. The one here in Henry County is at 803 Joy Street. So we're kind of right up the hill from Griffey Clinic and the hospital.
Oh, okay. All
Yes.
right. I know where that is.
Yes.
Imagine that.
Yes.
I have so many issues with finding my way around, but I'm getting pretty good now.
Oh, yeah.
Getting much better. So, okay, so you call in and you make an appointment.
Make an appointment. Mm-hmm.
Do you have to have certain things handy then for that appointment? Do you have to?
So when you come in, we just ask that you bring some sort of form of ID. There will be just some initial questions at the beginning. How big's your household? What is your yearly income? Things like that. Because there are certain services that fall on a sliding scale.
Oh, okay.
We would let you know if there was going to be, anything.
So not everything is free.
Not
Some
everything
things
is
are
free.
Okay.
Most things are going to be free for people, but there are certain things, certain tests, or certain vaccines that may fall on a sliding scale. But we would let you know anything that was going to be and how much it was going to cost.
And so if you had to go to the hospital or something, that would be the local hospital here in Paris.
Right.
So Henry County Medical Center.
Yes.
Okay. And I show here that you have some really interesting things that you provide. Child health.
So we do child health exams.
Okay.
So that would be someone that maybe has moved into Henry County, has not established with a pediatrician, or maybe they had insurance where they lived previously and haven't gotten on TennCare yet. So they can call and make an appointment for their child. Every school requires a child health exam before they start school. So our nurse practitioner does perform those child health exams to get into school. Anything that she found to be abnormal, we would absolutely refer to a pediatrician.
And then when she does that, where do you send them to have that done? Is that again at the Henry County Medical Center?
That's at the health department, right there in our office.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, does everybody who comes in initially and they don't have insurance, maybe they don't have a job or something like that, I'm wondering, can they ever get then on the TennCare, or is there restrictions to TennCare if you're already on this?
So there are some restrictions to TennCare.
Okay.
Mostly what we see is putting a new mom, somebody that's just found out that they're pregnant.
Right.
We help them get TennCare. Also, with this TennCare renewal, that's kind of going on this last year, our social worker, Casey, she actually helped a lot of people fill out their application again to make sure that all their renewal paperwork was turned in and correct for a household. So lots of children, we help with the TennCare application for them as well.
Now, the pregnant women that you just mentioned, I'm just wondering, do they have to be 19 and over, or can they be,
No.
the pregnant ones, can they be younger?
They can.
Okay.
They can. So if someone comes in suspecting that they're pregnant, we can actually perform a pregnancy test on them.
Okay.
And the thought process of that is it actually gives them a confirmation of pregnancy. So some OB offices require that they have that confirmation of pregnancy before they make them an appointment.
Absolutely.
But also
I can see that.
it allows them to get on a program called WIC, which is Women, Infant, and Children. And that's a supplemental program that we do through the health department as well, for food. It can be for formula. It can be, we do fruits, vegetables, proteins, and that's for mom while she's pregnant, but also for that child till that child is 5 years old.
And could they also get like prenatal vitamins and things like that?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, that's excellent. You know, I am interested in finding this out because I've heard of WIC and I've seen it in the stores when I shop,
Yes.
but I never knew what WIC was actually, what it stood for.
Yes.
So it's women's, infant,
And children.
children. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Yes.
And yeah, and we've got on screen here the services offered by the local health departments. And yeah, let's just talk about them. So another one that you have is the immunization shots.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, a lot of pediatricians have stopped carrying all of the childhood vaccines because it gets really expensive.
Yes, it does.
So many of them will refer to us for childhood vaccines. They get their well child exam at the pediatrician's office, and then they may come to us for their vaccines. Or it may not be time for a well child exam. So people will bring them into the health department for those vaccines. We also, our nurses are wonderful and they are known in the community, and a lot of people just feel comfortable bringing their children to the health department to get their vaccines. I grew up getting my vaccines in the health department, so it was kind of an easy choice for me. But we do have childhood immunizations all the way through what they need to go to college, actually. So
very good.
we can provide those.
Well, that's good for people to know about. Yeah.
We also offer
Yes.
COVID-19 vaccines and flu vaccines.
Absolutely.
Okay. Very good.
This is a big time for flu.
Yes.
It is,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah. I just got over the sniffles.
The
Yes.
flu vaccines right now are free.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're free.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And that's anybody for
That's for
anybody.
Yes,
anyone.
anybody.
Yes.
The cutoff,
Yes.
the 64 doesn't.
Nope, it does not apply to them.
It doesn't apply to that.
Anyone can walk in and get a flu shot between 8 and 4:30, Monday through Friday.
And mothers and parents can bring in
Their children.
Their children under 19. That 19.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, that 19 to 64 just applies to the primary care.
To the primary care.
Yes.
Okay. And that's next, primary
Yes. Yes. So,
So-
primary care is a big thing that 11 of our sites in West Tennessee actually have a primary care office. So out of the 19 counties here, 11 of them have a primary care, and Paris happens to be one of them. So Henry County supports our primary care here with our nurse practitioner, Heather Williams, and our physician, Dr. Daniel Davis.
Okay, very good. So you have a doctor on staff as well. And then
Yes.
family planning, what exactly does that entail? Is that like counseling? And
So family planning it involves a lot of things: counseling, education, but also birth control,
oh, that's
prenatal vitamins, things like that a mom may need. Teenager, young adult can come in for family planning services. That may also include, if they are in need of a pap smear, if they are in need of HPV testing, things like that. We can do under family planning that would involve getting on birth control, offering condoms. We do lots of family planning, and that's not just for females. We also have a program for males that may want a vasectomy.
oh wow.
The state can help them to pay for that through the health department as well.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing.
Yes.
Now I happen to know somebody that might be needing some help, and some people, when they get pregnant, they get very violently ill. They have a real
Yes.
hard time through their pregnancy. So that type of primary care would extend to that person.
It would after they're pregnant. So we refer to an OBGYN during their pregnancy.
Okay.
But that confirmation of pregnancy that we do after a pregnancy test can get them usually an earlier appointment with their OB. Also, at that point, we're helping them get on TennCare. So they'll have insurance in order to go to an OB-GYN
Okay.
to see them.
In case they're ill or they're just
Yes.
not doing well. Okay.
Yes.
And then, of course, the family planning, which we talked about, and the STD control. That's,
we do
testing,
lots of
treatments.
Testing, treatment, contacts, who are their sexual contacts, and getting those people treated as well, to really cut down on the spread of STDs in our community.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Very good to know. Healthy. And you've got here listed tuberculosis control. Now that's odd, because that's something that I thought that was done with. That we had moved far, far, far away from tuberculosis. But
Absolutely.
I did hear it was coming back. People were having it. So now,
I think the amount of people that move into the United States, they're
there you go. Right.
they are more exposed. Also, our generation travels a lot,
Yes, yeah.
So traveling to a high
Risk
tuberculosis risk area someone can, come in contact with it, bring it back with them, start having symptoms. They can come in, get some testing done at the health department. And also we have a state TB program that will help them get the medications that they need to be treated for TB.
Being a nurse, do you actually know, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what are some of the symptoms of that?
So some of the symptoms are, a nagging cough that just won't go away.
Okay.
Night sweats. That's one of the big ones that we talk about. Odd loss of weight sometimes can be associated with that. People tend to have a lower appetite as well.
Okay, and that's all tuberculosis related. But if you had those symptoms, it wouldn't necessarily mean you had those.
Right.
But, is there like any, are you weak? Are you ill with that cough?
A lot of
and things like
times
that?
you are. A lot of times you are weak, not feeling well, running a fever. All of those can be, other things, but if associated with traveling to a high-risk area or out of the country.
There you go. There's your connection is traveling.
Yes,
Okay.
or being exposed to someone that has. That can be,
Wow.
can transmit in a home or at the hospital. A lot of healthcare workers, we talk about being higher risk because they can be exposed to that in the...
Yeah, is that an airborne thing, or it is, huh?
Yeah.
So, literally, you could go to the store if somebody was there, and if they had their hands on those baskets, pushing them. So
It's more
make sure you
droplets,
use your wipes at the Kroger
Absolutely.
and the Walmart.
Wash those hands.
Wash those
Yes.
hands. Wow, that makes a really big difference. It makes you think about this because, tuberculosis was so far back.
Absolutely.
And now it's kind of come back because, like you say, traveling and all these people coming in illegally even, bringing all kinds of things with them that I'm sure the health departments all around the United States are finding shock. Oh boy, look at what we have to deal with now.
Yeah.
So that's good to know that that's something that we need to be conscientious of at this point.
Right.
Oh my goodness. And then it says here that you also go over nutrition.
Absolutely. So
That
we
is
have a
amazing.
nutrition educator, and she is also the one that meets with all of our WIC clients, that women and children, and she talks a lot about nutrition for babies, nutrition for pregnant mothers, nutrition for young children. Also, Callie talks about nutrition in the schools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you go to the schools as well?
Yes, so my job as the health educator for the community is to go into the schools and talk to youth about different things such as nutrition, what that looks like, what my plate is. I don't know if y'all remember the food pyramid.
Yeah. Well, the food pyramid, that's kind of gotten a bad rap lately because they're saying that there's too many carbs, there's too many starches and things like that, like the rice and the potatoes, the grains and things like that. Have they updated that pyramid?
Yeah, it's actually a plate now. So it's normal. They have different ones for different diets. Like
right.
Also, part of my job, I talk with people who recently are diagnosed with diabetes. And we do a dining with diabetes class and just a chronic disease class in general. So there's my plate that's specific for that diabetic diet, and then there's one that's for the general population. So they do tweak it every so often and find out the diabetic plate has more protein and not as much starch or whatever. So they do keep it updated, and I like to go into the schools and talk to our youth about lots of different topics. Nutrition. I talk a lot about substance misuse, specifically vaping, because vaping is a major issue.
They're finding out that is really horrible. Stop vaping if you're vaping.
Yes, it's No Vape November, so please
No
do
vape
not
November.
vape.
Yes.
No Vape November.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Preach it.
I was actually at the schools last week for Great American Smokeout, which is every
Wonderful.
November 16th or 17th, I can't remember. But anyway, so it's a day where we encourage people who maybe smoke or vape to just quit for that one day. Just don't smoke for one day and see if you can do it. Get that ball rolling towards quitting.
It is really such a horrible, habit to pick up.
Absolutely.
And very, very addictive. I was told by somebody that I spoke with recently that they believe that they're putting a lot more nicotine in the products today because there's so many of you coming against that, the smoking. So they're making it harder. The tobacco companies are making their cigarettes harder to resist. So, I mean, I'm assuming that was true.
Yes.
And that is horrifying because we know, and I mean, my own mother passed away from lung cancer. And even though she had quit, and I think she had quit for about 30 years, it still caught up with her somehow. And so she was a chain smoker from like high school on. And then she finally quit in the last 30 years of her life. The last 5 or 6, she really suffered. And people don't think about that when they're young and they're getting involved in all this, and I just can't imagine, so sad seeing young kids smoking. And they just don't realize how painful it is to get lung cancers.
Absolutely.
And the thing about vaping is it's still relatively new.
Yes.
So we don't even know what the long-term health effects are.
Yes, but they're saying it's not good. And the biggest issue with vaping is these things blow up in your face. And I mean, that's shocking in and of itself. That's just shocking.
Yeah, they're very scary because, I mean, there's all kinds of chemicals that are not regulated. We don't even know what's in there. There's synthetic nicotine, so in a normal combustible cigarette, it's natural. It's tobacco.
Right.
But in vapes, it's mainly synthetic. And it has a battery pack that heats up metal, so then you're breathing in metal, and it's just all the way horrible for your body.
It really is horrible. My goodness. Yeah, anybody out there smoking, please stop now.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a little scary. So then you have this Children's Special Services, which is the CSS I heard about. And can you explain to us what that's all about? Either one of you, whoever.
Yeah, so Children's Special Services is kind of like an additional insurance. So they cover several different diagnoses, and our chant worker, which is Children Health. Sorry, I need to get my notes out. Community Health Access and Navigation in Tennessee. So we have a social worker on staff, and she works with mothers and all the way up to kids 21 years old. And she just helps navigate different resources for them. She helps provide any special medical needs. They help financially provide the care that a child might need for these special diagnoses, and they offer hearing and speech services. I mean, they cover all kinds of developmental problems, medical problems, like all kinds of stuff.
Like autism and things like that, they work with people. Oh my goodness, this is really good to know. I wouldn't have known that you all provided this much care. It's amazing what we have at our fingertips here in Paris and in Henry County. It really, really is. I had no idea. This is really good news. And then here we're talking about the prenatal vitamins and that for the
Absolutely.
pregnant women, and they must take that.
Yes.
If they're not getting it in their food in case they don't have the finances. I mean, to go to the grocery store today and buy healthy, good choices.
Right.
It's expensive.
It absolutely is.
It is.
It absolutely is. And if they qualify for a program like WIC, then it does help with those financial burdens on top of, a pregnancy that may or may not have been planned, or someone may or may not have the resources for that. So just trying to help out those moms as much as we can, and watching those children grow and try to make healthy habits a little bit financially easier for them.
Now, do you at the health department, do you offer the food stamps, or is that a separate?
That's separate. That is separate. And a lot of people think if they don't qualify for food stamps, they wouldn't necessarily qualify for WIC.
Oh, okay.
But I always tell people, if you qualify for TennCare, you qualify for WIC. So don't think just because you don't qualify for food stamps, because they're a little bit more strict on the income.
Yeah, that's
portion of that
base. Yeah, pretty much.
WIC has a larger income based on how many people in your household.
And is WIC also for men? Not just women and children? Can men get WIC?
So men cannot, but if fathers have custody of a child, they can get that money for that child.
Oh, okay.
So
that is
we
very
have
good
had
to know.
fathers that have had custody of their children to bring them in to get WIC services for those children.
Because, you do hear a lot, like mothers usually will have the children.
Absolutely.
But there are some fathers who the mother has actually passed away.
Yes. Yeah.
Or something else, or she's moved and taken off and left the child with the husband.
Right.
So I wondered if anything was really geared to help the man, that would need some help.
And
so
he can get those services for that child. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so he can also do all of this.
Yes.
Through, that's awesome. Now, HUG is Help Us Grow.
That's CHANT now.
Yes.
Okay.
So it has changed a little bit.
It has changed. It's the Community Health Access and Navigation in Tennessee.
Okay.
And that is our social worker, essentially.
Okay.
And our social worker, Casey, just does a phenomenal job. She goes the extra mile. She finds resources. The one thing that TennCare is offering right now for prenatal mothers is they can get dental care too.
Dental care? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because every time you get pregnant, it seems like you're going to lose a tooth.
Right. Your body is changing.
And it's also pulling
Yes.
from all of your resources to give to that child.
Yes.
And a lot of women seem to go through all kinds of dental issues during or after giving birth because of that. Wow, this is it's like a wellspring of information here, but it's really, really interesting. And then explain to me what Vital Records is all about.
So Vital Records we consider as birth certificates and death certificates. Okay. So if your child was born in the state of Tennessee, you can go to the health department and they will print you a birth certificate. If you're needing it for travel, if you're needing it for a beneficiary situation, or if you're needing it for health insurance, you can get a birth certificate printed at the health department.
So let's say you had a child in another state, say Florida, and you come here. So how would that work if they didn't have access to the Florida vital statistics, or would they have to have that? And then you would provide them with one locally for Tennessee.
So it's only for someone that was born in the state of Tennessee.
Only for somebody born in Tennessee.
Yes.
So it's not going to be, okay,
Correct.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
We also do death certificates. So if you were needing one for a parent or a child or a spouse, you could come in and get a copy of that death certificate. Sometimes banks need that, or insurance companies need that.
Right, definitely an insurance company would have to have that for proof.
Yes, absolutely. So someone can walk in the health department and get a copy of that.
Is that a free service, or is that a service that is on a
That is a
scale?
service that costs.
Okay.
So it is a flat rate. They can come in and get that, but they can get, if I needed 5 copies for something,
Right, that could get
I can
expensive,
get all of that, yes.
Now, if they couldn't get it there, they would have to what? Go to an attorney, or they would have to go through the state
I
and
think
wait
most,
week after week
yes.
after week
I
until
think
that.
most states would have an online portal. My child was born in the state of Kentucky.
Okay.
Kentucky gets a little weird. You gotta,
I've heard
go
that.
to Frankfurt and get it from there to get a copy of the birth certificate. But I think other states do have an online portal where you can order a birth certificate from that state for
Okay.
your child if you needed one. So,
Yeah,
or
because
yourself.
there are times when you would need that.
Yes.
And then, of course, health education, that's back to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you do the education at the hospital as well as in the schools, or?
I go out to any community events. I've talked to different clubs in the community. I've gone to pretty much every school in the county and city school systems. Really anybody who's like, I really need somebody to come and talk to us. I offer classes. I work with lots of community partners here with the Prevention Coalition, UT Extension Office. We also have the Health Council, which is an organization that is made up with all kinds of different types of community members that work towards bettering our community and making it healthier. So we have 3 priorities, which are substance misuse, healthy weight, and mental health. So we actually had a glow walk at Eiffel Tower Park in September for Suicide Month. We had mental health resources, and we had some speakers come and talk, and we just all gathered together with our glow sticks and walked around the Eiffel Tower Park. And it was really great.
Glow sticks.
Yeah.
A glow walk. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet that was fun to watch.
It was fun. I hope we do it again next year. It was really a good time.
And then I see on our list here that the different things that you provide, and oh my gosh, I mean, this is like almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
You have general environmental health. Okay, what's that all about?
So our environmentalist, Natalie, she takes care of a lot of different things in the county as far as restaurant ratings. She goes out and regulates pools, hotels. She also takes care of our rabies program at the health department. So if someone has gotten bitten, if they are able to, catch the animal, or she does a lot with our rabies program in getting that animal tested. If there is a suspicion of rabies. So.
Yeah, that's a very, that's really a horrible thing.
Oh, yes.
And very painful shot, I understand.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, oh boy, stay away from those
raccoons.
Oh, yeah, the raccoons, you never know. And, I've often wondered, how would you really even know? But I guess they say they foam at the mouth or something like that, or
there
they
are
act
some
very
signs,
strange.
yes.
And you see them at times of the day when you normally wouldn't see them. Like daytime, it's kind of rare to see a raccoon, isn't it? Because they're a nocturnal type of an animal. Yeah. And then you also have motor voter program.
Yes.
So what is that all about?
So you can come in and do voter registration through our front desk.
Okay.
And get registered to vote here in Henry County. So it makes it kind of easy to come in, if you're there for another service and you need to register to vote, we can do that for you.
Now, I knew someone who needed to get a record expunged from something that happened like 40 years ago. But they moved to Tennessee and they wanted to vote. But they were told that you can't vote until you get that expunged. I think that's the right terminology. Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you help with something like that?
We would probably refer to a lawyer for something like that for them to...
Or for the Department of Transportation or something like
Yeah.
that. Okay. I just wondered, I thought I would ask, since I know all these different people,
Right.
that we have ministered to.
Right.
And I don't always know the answers, you know,
Right.
which is why having people in here on, you know, Good Day Paris is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
I have learned so much,
Yes.
you know, just having people in, and this county just offers
does.
so much to its people who live here. So then the 10 Care outreach.
Yes. So 10 Care Outreach is one of those things where, you know, if someone has moved into the state and had insurance in another state, they can get 10 Care. We can help them with that application to see if they qualify. We don't always guarantee a qualification, but we do help them, you know, fill out that application and make sure that they have all of the supporting documents for that.
Okay.
But when it comes to pregnant mothers, we do help put them on 10 Care once they come in and get that positive pregnancy test. It does allow us to help them get on 10 Care because a lot of those moms may not have insurance. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am like blown away at all the different things that y'all, you know, provide. And it's all just at your fingertips. You're literally just picking up a phone and calling the health department.
Yes. Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you're like I said, a wellspring of information there. And we've had your information on up, you know, how to get in touch and the phone numbers and things like that. And I always tell people when we put those things up like this right here, get your phone out and take a picture of that. So you don't have to write everything down.
Absolutely.
You know, get close to the TV set, turn the what is that little thing called? The camera, not the camera, the light. What's that thing called? I forget.
Oh,
flash.
The flash.
The
yeah.
flash. Shut your flash off. Don't get old. Okay. But we will also post this on the Good Day Paris page too, for those of you who don't have that handy dandy phone in your hand at the moment.
Absolutely.
But so Lauren and Callie, tell me, is there anything else that you would like to mention about what you all offer and what you do?
Do you want to talk about the breast and cervical program?
Oh my gosh, that sounds
the breast
amazing.
and cervical program. So this is something that goes through that primary care clinic that we have. One of the things that we provide is if someone has an abnormal pap smear and maybe they don't have insurance.
Oh my gosh.
We allow them, you know, we set them up on this program that allows them to go to a specialist to get further testing if they need to. If someone finds a lump in their breast and does not have insurance, they can come in, they see our nurse practitioner, she'll do a breast exam, and then she'll refer them on to have a mammogram or an MRI, whatever is needed to
find out what's going on.
To find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a great program the state of Tennessee provides because a lot of those treatments can get very expensive. A mammogram can be very expensive.
Yes,
an
they
MRI
are.
as well. So getting that person the extra help that they need as far as getting a diagnosis or making sure something is actually benign, we can help them with this program to help to pay for that. So.
Is the sonogram something that can be utilized for something like that or no?
Sometimes it can be.
Okay.
Sometimes the sonogram
Is that
can
a
be
cheaper
used.
option than maybe say, you know, getting x-rays and that kind of thing?
Sometimes it is, and a lot of times they'll use that sonogram for somebody younger that may not be of age to really get a full mammogram.
Okay, there you go. Right.
So somebody might find what they think is a lump. A lot of times can be maybe just fibrotic tissue, but they want to look at that. So they'll use a sonogram. And if they need to do a biopsy of some sort, they will use that sonogram as well. So.
Yeah, it seems to me like that might even be a better way to go sometimes, you know. I mean, maybe even safer. I don't know.
Depending on, what's going on. Yeah.
What's happening. Yeah. Okay, and what else?
Callie, talk about what you talk about in the schools. So Callie does a lot of education with our middle schoolers and high schoolers.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so recently I've been working with the Prevention Coalition, and we've been going into the middle schools and talking to them about vaping, alcohol, and we've also started up youth coalitions. So we're getting those going in every middle school in the county, and we've had 2 meetings so far with our city school systems, and it's been so much fun. The first day we made stress balls with the kids. Our previous meeting, or last month, we made vision boards, and we had them cut out pictures of their dreams and what they want to be whenever they grow up, and it was just so much fun. And then I think we're gonna make cards for Christmas to give out to maybe the jail and nursing homes. So I'm really excited. And our youth, they just give me so much hope and joy. Like, I just love being with them and seeing what they have to say. They have some really great ideas.
Absolutely, and it does sound like a lot of fun. I love working with kids. You just see all that in their eyes. It just brings out so much hope, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And teaches them so much about caring, and they need to have that. They really do. Thank you for doing that. That's awesome.
Especially being in an environment like that, where they're surrounded by their peers and they have somebody guiding them.
Yeah. That's so missing today.
Yes, absolutely.
It is.
She mentioned that she only had 25 people signed up and 75 students actually showed up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was great.
I had to be shocked.
Yeah.
It was shocking. Me and the Prevention Coalition girls were like, what are we going to do? This is not what we prepared for. But, it was great. We had a great time.
Nothing like a challenge.
Yeah, I just hope, more and more kids come, because that's what we want. We want to get them involved and get them to be leaders in our community.
And the thing is just getting them off of their phones.
Oh, absolutely.
And getting them involved and thinking about things that, they need to be responsible for and things they can get involved in to help as well. Amazing. Wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
Really wonderful. I for the longest time thought it's really frightening that the younger kids aren't exposed to more, but knowing that you guys are going in and all this is happening, they need education, direction, care. Yeah. They don't always come from perfect backgrounds and families, and just this kind of stuff is just, it really is necessary.
And one of the things Kelly talks about is hygiene.
Yeah. Oh my
personal
gosh.
hygiene
in
middle school.
Yes.
That becomes an issue sometimes, and
if
children are not taught that at home.
That's right. Brushing your teeth, washing your hair, and even, I've had experience when I was younger. I had a group home in Florida. I was a counselor for Pinellas County where we lived, and I had a boys group home, and I had 16 boys.
Oh, wow.
It was a huge home, and it would go, 16 was the max, but it was usually 8. Yeah. But if more came in, then I would take them in. But I was shocked at how they were never taught in the home to brush their teeth.
Yes.
They were never taught how to get the soap under the armpit.
Absolutely.
They would just get in and let the water go over them, and I'm like, hey, that's where it's really stinky. So it's really great that, you get to talk to these kids about this, because not all parents educate their children like that. And I'm so grateful for the ones who do.
Yes.
But there are a lot who are under so much stress.
Yes.
And, I'm not blaming them. Life can really get hard.
Absolutely.
And especially in today, with finances being so horrid and gas prices so high, food prices so high, they're not making enough money at work to cover even the electric. I really, there are nights you just don't even want to go to bed. You just keep praying, God, please help. So.
But I'm glad that you mentioned the brushing teeth, because something we have failed to mention is we have a dental hygienist at the health department as well.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. I knew there was more.
Yeah, there's always more.
Do you want to talk about what?
There's more.
Yeah.
What she does in the schools?
So our dental hygienist, Shannon, she goes to schools that have 50% of their students receive free or reduced lunch. And she
that's
goes in
wonderful.
and does a screening, an exam, a sealant, and they'll also refer to a dentist if they see anything wrong. So that's a
Nice.
free service that we offer. She goes into the schools, pulls the kids out of class for maybe 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Does cleaning, sealant to
Oh,
prevent
wow.
cavities.
Those
and-
sealants are amazing. Those are such a lifesaver,
Absolutely.
and they really, really do work.
Yes.
I paid for sealants for my children
Yes,
back in
absolutely.
Florida when they were young, and it saved us hundreds of dollars.
absolutely.
And I know it did. And once they wore off, then they got the cavities.
Yeah.
So we paid for that too. But oh my goodness, that is wonderful to hear. Now, if they have to go to a dentist, or if something else has already cropped up, like a root canal or something like that, is there help? Financial help with the...
So actually,
Yeah.
not in our county. So we would send someone to either Dover, to Stewart County, or to Tipton County, where they have what's called a federally qualified health department. And they have a dental office in both of those health departments. So a lot of times if we have people that are needing dental services and don't have dental insurance, we will refer them there to get those services.
Okay, so Henry County doesn't, but
not, but
Stewart
Stewart does.
and this other county
And Tipton.
does. Tipton. Now, what's the city that's related to Tipton?
So Tipton would be
Uh-oh.
Ripley?
maybe
How
Ripley.
far away is that?
It's probably about 2 hours.
Oh, wow,
So
2
Stewart
hours.
County
So
would be
you
much
re-
closer.
Stewart County is
Stewart
definitely the
County
closest
is
one,
just,
yes.
yeah, Dover's not too far, just over the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I hadn't heard that one.
Yes.
But it's crazy to me that you guys reach that far out.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, oh my gosh, that's another blessing,
Yes.
Well, my goodness, what a day of getting to know our Tennessee healthcare.
Yes.
And thank you so much, both of you, for coming on. This
Thank you
has
for having
been
us.
Yes, thank you.
So amazing.
That's great.
Yes, and taking your Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It is very much appreciated. So I am really overwhelmed by all this good news, and it's just wonderful to know that we have so much here in Paris and in Henry County with all the help, and so many are in need this year. So keep them in your prayers and send them to the health department.
Yes.
So, as we wrap up and end tonight's broadcast, I want to remind everyone to tune in every Monday to the Tennessee Informer with Dave Vance to stay up to date on all the goings-on in Tennessee politics, because there's so much going on. Every Monday at 7 p.m., Dave hosts interesting and notable guests discussing topics that are important to all citizens of Tennessee. So please don't miss an episode. Log on to tninformer.com to learn more. And also, make sure you catch Gary Boyd on her new show, It's Me versus Me. It's the Life Change Challenge, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Watch local Parisians take their life back and challenge themselves to make their lives better. So don't miss it. It's really interesting. And you can find out more at itsmeversusme.tv and the Facebook page at facebook.com/It's Me Versus Me Show. That's every Sunday at 8 p.m. You'll be glad you watched that, because it really is very interesting. And lastly, be sure to watch April Wilson and myself every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Paris Paranormal Show. Every week we feature fascinating topics and guests you'll definitely want to find out about. And you can find out more about that at parisparanormal.com and ea-tv.com. And if you have a paranormal story or event that you'd like to share with April and myself, please email us at hauntedparis@usa.com. And we've got a great show coming on for you tomorrow night. So hopefully you'll watch that, and we look forward to seeing you there. So thank you again for joining us tonight, and be sure to be back here next week. There's always a surprise waiting for you here. So until then, happy Thanksgiving and have a good day, Paris. Bye now.